Have you ever wondered why some websites are so interactive and responsive, while others feel static and outdated? The secret behind these modern websites is JavaScript, a powerful programming language that enables web developers to create dynamic and engaging user experiences. With JavaScript, developers can create everything from simple animations to complex web applications that can rival traditional desktop softwares. JavaScript allows developers to add interactive elements to a web page, such as drop-down menus, hover effects, and image sliders. This makes website feel more responsive for users. So, if you also want to create an interactive and engaging website, then JavaScript is the right option and you are in the right place. Hey everyone and welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, we'll be taking you through what JavaScript is and we'll create a fully functional website with the help of JavaScript to understand the real-world application of this programming language. So don't worry, if you are a newbie or an advanced level developer, this video will definitely help you out. But before we begin, let me tell you guys that we have regular updates on multiple technology videos. So if you are a tech geek in a continuous hunt for the latest technological trends, then consider getting subscribed to our YouTube channel and press that bell icon to never miss any updates from Simplilearn. Also, if you want to kickstart your dream career and looking for an online bootcamp training and certifications from prestigious universities, then take up the Full Stack Java Developer Masters program by Simplilearn. Get the ultimate boost for your career with world-class skills and career readiness training in only one power-packed program. During this program, you will master both front-end and back-end Java technologies, starting with the basics and progressing to the advanced aspects of full-stack web development. You'll also learn JavaScript, React.js, Springboot, web services, JSPs, and MongoDB to help you launch your career as a full-stack developer. On that note, let's hand over this session to our training experts.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video by Simplilearn. In today's video, we're going to learn JavaScript. Now, JavaScript is one of the most important languages today. The rise of internet has helped JavaScript scale to a stellar level. So in this video, I'm going to introduce JavaScript to you, but before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. First, let's have a look at a brief history of JavaScript. JavaScript was written in 10 days by Brendan Eich in 1995. He was working at Netscape at the time and was implementing Java, the hot buzzword for the browser. Later, he developed a more easy-to-use programming language called Mocha. The idea was to make Java available for big professional component writers, while Mocha would be used for small scripting tasks. Mocha was later renamed to JavaScript. Now, in 2009, Node.js was released. This allowed programmers to write full applications in JavaScript. NPM was also created for installing reusable bits of code in libraries. So moving on, what exactly is JavaScript? JavaScript is a server-side and client-side programming language. It is commonly used to create web applications. Now, all of these applications in JavaScript can be seen in diverse fields like gaming, web development, server development, robotics, among others. Popular JavaScript libraries and frameworks like React.js and Angular have scaled tremendously in the past few years. Moving ahead, let me show you a simple demo to implement a few concepts of JavaScript. Let's head to VS Code for this. Alright, so back in my VS Code, I've created a folder called demo_js, within which I've created a file for variables, which is the HTML file. Alright, I've also added the initial code for it with the title tag and the heading tag. And now within the script, I'm going to define my variables. So here, let me say var, the keyword var, and say x equals 5. Now, JavaScript is loosely typed, and also all these variables can be declared as and when they're being used. Alright, so with this variable, I can just print it out. Let me say document dot write x. Alright, so let's go and open the file. Alright, so here you can see the heading has been displayed with the value of x, that is 5. Now we can also perform various actions on these variables. So let me say variable y equals 3, and then let's say variable sum equals x plus y. And here let me just output the sum. Have a look at the browser. It displays 8. Alright, so now let's go ahead and create another HTML file to understand how arrays work in JavaScript. So let's say arrays.html. Alright, let me just copy the initial code for the same. Alright, I've added the initial code for it. And now let's go ahead and create an array. So here let me say I'm going to create an array of cars. So let's say cars, within which I say BMW. And then I say Volvo. And then I say Honda. Alright. So we successfully created an array. Now we can just output it using console log. Say console log cars of 0, which indicates the value of the array at the position index, at the index position 0. Similarly, let's just say console.log cars 2. Alright. So when we save it and then execute it, let's have a look at the browser. You can see it's displayed BMW, which was at the index position 0, and then it's displayed Honda, which was at the index position 2. Now let's display the length of the array. So for that we can make use of the len property and say cars.length here. And after this, we'll just console log it. So let's say len. Alright. So when we have a look at the browser, we have 3 here, which indicates the length of our array. Now we can also perform other actions like looping over it. So let's have a look at JavaScript loops. So I'm going to create another file here and say loops.html. So I've also added the initial code now. So now let's first look at the simple for loop. So here, let me create a variable called n. Alright. And then I'll say document.write. Let's display a simple message saying the numbers are. Alright. And let me just break the line. Alright. Now to display the numbers from 0 to 9, I'm just going to use the for loop saying for n equals 0, n less than 10, n plus plus. And then I'm going to display the values. So I say document.write n, and let's just give a space between the numbers. So yeah. Alright, so now when we have a look at the browser, you can see it says the numbers are, and it displays the digits 0 to 9. Now let's look at another example for loops. So I'm going to create another script tag. And now let me just say document.write. Now I'm just going to add space, add 2 lines from the previous one. So let me just add these first. Alright. And now let's say let y equals, I'm going to create an array. So let's say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Yeah. And then let's say for, I'm going to create an index variable that is I equals 0 to length equals y dot length, and sum equals 0 and I less than length I plus plus. So here I've just created 3 different variables and initialized them here. So I've created an index variable I, a length variable for length, and then we have the sum variable that records the sum of the array. And then I've made sure that the variable I is less than the length, and then I've used the increment operator. So now let's say sum plus equals y of I, and then say document dot write the sum is sum. Alright, so let's save and execute this. So here you can see that the sum 56 is being displayed. So this is how you make use of loops. You can also use the while loop. However, I'm not going to get into the details of it. I'm going to help you understand how functions in JavaScript work. So I'll say functions.html, and let me also add the initial code. Alright, so now one thing to remember is that there are various ways to define a function in JavaScript. However, in this video, I'm going to show you two different methods. One is using the function constructor and the other one is using functions expressions. Now, when it comes to function constructor, we make use of the function keyword and the new keyword. Alright, so now let's just see how it works. So let's say where my function equals new, and the function keyword here, which is the constructor, I say function. Within this, I'm going to define my function. So I'm just making use of the simple sum function that adds two numbers. So let's say A and B, these two are the parameters. And when I'm returning it, I say return A plus B. Alright, first let me define the variables. So now when I call the function, I say variable X equals my function, and I'm going to pass the digits. Let's say 2, 3. All right, and now let's say let's display it. So demo, if you've seen, I've created an ID called demo here, so I can make use of that here. And I say dot inner HTML, the sum is X. Alright, so now let's save it and have a look at the browser. You can see the sum 5 is being displayed. So now let me show you how to create a function using function expressions. So let me create another script tag. Alright, and now let me say variable y equals function, and the parameters that I'm going to be passing are a, b. And when I'm defining the function, I say return A plus B. So what we're doing here is that the function expression is being stored in a variable, and this variable can be used anywhere in your script. Alright, so now let's say X equals Y of 8, 5. Alright, and then let's just display the value of X. Alright, so now let's have a look at the browser. You can see it displays 13. So I highly recommend you check out the video on JavaScript functions by Simplilearn that explains the concept of functions in detail.
So this is the website we are going to create in today's video. Here you can see we have an HTML web page with a navigation bar to take the user to different sections of a website. I hope you already know that we have to create several web pages for a single website to make it a fully functional website. We have to create these pages separately in different HTML documents, and then we have to provide the links to this particular home page for directing the user to various locations of our website. If you see here in the navigation bar, we have several options starting with our company's logo. So Comfort Learning is the company's logo. Here we have an icon of the book to let the user know that this website is for learning. So we'll see further in this video how we can use these logos and all. Then we have links for several other web pages of our website that are not working because we haven't added these web pages till now. The reason for this is we don't want to make this project a long one. We want to finish it quickly, and we want to give you guys a basic idea of how to use JavaScript and other technologies to create a fully functional website. Next up, we have a cart button over here. On clicking, it opens the cart with items present inside it, and the user can either clear the whole cart or proceed further to buy all the things they need. Right. Following this cart button, we have a background image over here with a cart present over the image. The cart says find your favorite course here. Now, you guys might have guessed that this website is for buying courses and the user can buy some courses here which they want to study. This shop now button is completely working, and if we click on it, it will take us to the courses catalog where we have several courses present to choose from. We have 8 different courses present here. You can add as many courses as you want or as many products as you want. So we can add any of them to the cart. On taking the mouse cursor over any image, you can see it gives us an option to add that particular product to the cart, right? If we click on this add to cart button, you can see it says in cart. It means that we can't add any specific course to the cart more than once. We can later change the number of items in the cart, but we can add a course only once from here. Let's add some courses to the cart and then we'll see if it's working or not. So we'll add few courses. We'll add this one. So it says this course is already present in cart. Similarly, this course is also present and we can add this course. Now we'll move to the cart. We will click on this cart button and you can see we have all the courses present over here. Now, if you notice here, we have these small arrows present, right? We can click on these arrows to change the number of items. We can either increase the number of items or we can decrease the number of items as well. Then we have a remove button over here, and if we click on this remove button, you can see the course is removed now. We can remove any number of courses we want, and we can also increase the number of products in our cart. Following it, we have two options over here. Either we can clear the whole cart or we can proceed. If we click on this clear cart button, there will be no course present in the cart and the total price will change to 0 in that case. Fine. So I hope you guys must have known the task by now. It's clear and seems effortless, right? But these small things take a lot of precise coding and attention to work smoothly. So let me show you guys one more thing before we move on to the coding part. If we reduce the size of a web page, or we can say if we remove the size of a browser, you can see the size of website also changes. If we make the browser similar to a phone, you can see we have got a menu type of thing over here, and if we click on this, we are getting the options here. We have home, categories, pricing and about us, right? So these were the options present in the navigation bar. We can get them inside a particular menu using CSS. We'll see how it actually works. So a website is responsive, right? We'll do it with the help of CSS. So let's move on to the programming part now. So here we are in the VS Code. We have all the images already present inside the images folder in our system. So if you want to see, you can see here we have all the images present over here, and we have 4 different files. We have app.js, we have index.html, products.json to add products, and we have style.css to style all the elements. Fine, here we are in the HTML file. Some of you guys may think that HTML, CSS and JavaScript were fine, but what's up with the JSON thing? We haven't heard of it in the previous videos. So let me tell you guys, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Just like we create objects in JavaScript, JSON is also used to create objects like name value pairs, and later we can use these objects to retrieve that data in a HTML file. In simple words, to add an item to a cart, we need to store it somewhere to get that data related to the object. And then we can add those items to our cart. So JSON is used to transmit the data between a server and a web application. We need to store our products somewhere so that we can use them when added to cart. So you'll get to know more about it while working on it basically. So for now, if you know enough about JavaScript objects, then JSON will be easy for you guys because the syntax remains almost similar in both the cases, that is in JavaScript and in JSON. So let's start writing the code now. Here we are in a HTML file and we have already linked all the files over here. You can see here we have used font awesome library for icons we'll use on our website. You have seen that book icon we have used in our logo part and several other icons like the cart icon, etc. So we'll include those predefined icons in a HTML file using this particular library. To include this specific library, you don't have to do much of a task. Go to Google, search cdnjs.com/libraries/fontawesome. Go to Google and search for this and then select version 4.7.0 under the version option. Copy the third URL with min.css as extension and paste it into your HTML file. As simple as that. I'll let you know about the classes we'll use while working on the website. Now let's start with the programming part. The first thing we have on our website is the navigation bar, right? Let me show it to you again. So here you can see we have a navigation bar. We'll first work on this one only. So let's start writing the code. So this is the output of our current website. So what we'll do is we'll minimize the browser and we'll start writing the code here only. So what we'll do is we'll write here nav class is equals to navbar. Then inside this we'll write div class is equals to burger, and inside this we'll write 3 div tags. Fine. We'll write here div class is equals to layer 1. We'll close this div. We'll copy it from here and we'll paste it again 3 times. Fine. We'll write here layer 2 and layer 3 is class. Then after this particular div tag, we'll add another div tag with class as logo. Then inside this we'll use the span tag. We'll write here span class is equals to logo text, and then we'll write here I will use the I tag to make it a little bit italic. So we'll use the class as book. Fine. We'll write here style is equals to margin right. We'll write here margin right as 0.1 em. Then we'll write here similarly we can close this. Fine. Now we have added the book icon to our website. Then what we'll do is we'll write here again span. We'll use the span tag within this span tag. We'll write here style is equals to color, and the color code is hash F095D1. So these are the color codes for this particular website. We'll use them. We have written here F09D51. Fine. Then what we'll do is we'll write here font size as 1.1 em, and what we'll do next is we'll write here before the span tag closes, we'll write here learning. Fine. Okay. So what we did wrong here is we forgot to mention comfort here. Now we are done with the logo part. Next up what we'll do is we'll write here div class is equals to menu bar. We are working on the menu bar for the hamburger menu. So what we'll do is we'll write here UL. So UL stand for unordered list. We'll write here class is list, and inside this we'll use li tag. So we'll write here class as, let's say, list items. We'll write here a href is equals to hash, and here what we'll do is we'll write here home. Fine. We'll copy this piece of code. We'll paste it again 3 or 4 times. we have four different options. We have home, we have courses, and then we have pricings, and finally we have about us. Fine. So we are done with menu as well. Next up, what we'll do is we'll write the code for cart now. So we'll write here div class is equals to cart, and inside this we'll write I class is equals to fa shopping cart for 1x. So here we have used this special class to include the cart icon to a web page. Now next up, what we'll do is we'll write here div class is equals to number of items, and then we'll write here span class is equals to, let's say, noi. Now what we'll do is we'll write here 0 inside this. Fine. I hope you guys understood what we did till now. We are working on the navigation bar only. We have created the navigation bar. So this is the code. Firstly, we have used a class navbar for this particular navigation bar. Then we have used the div tag for burger menu. We have three different layers, layer 1, layer 2 and layer 3. So this is actually the icon of burger menu. You can see here if we reduce the size of our website. So we have defined this burger menu, and inside this we have four other options which we defined later here inside the menu bar, and we have four options, right? We have home, courses, pricings and about us. So we are doing totally right. So till now we did some basic tasks here, right? We have added all the navigation bar elements, and the next thing we have to do is to style our navigation bar according to the final website. It's pretty simple. Let's do one thing. Let's save it once and check the output now. Let's see if it's working. So it's totally working. We have a book icon over here. We have comfort learning written over here. We have cart icon over here, and we have 0 written over here. Fine. Now we have to style those elements accordingly to make it look like this. So we are making this navigation bar. So what we'll do is we'll move to our CSS file, and we'll start styling by doing some default style changes to the entire HTML document. We'll write here star, margin will be 0, the default margin will be 0, padding will be 0, then we have box sizing, we'll write here border box, and font size will be 20 pixels for default. Fine. Next up, we'll write here HTML. We'll now style the HTML document. We'll write here scroll behavior as smooth, and we'll write here anchor tag. We'll write here text decoration, and we'll write here text decoration as none, and then we'll style the unordered list. We'll write here UL. We'll write here list style as none. Fine. Basic styling is done. Let's do some more for the navigation bar as well. What we'll do is we'll write here dot navbar. This is the first class we have used in a HTML page. We'll write here display as flex. Then we'll write here justify content as space between, align items as center, height as 10vh. So 10vh refers to the viewport height. It will take 10% of the total height of the screen. Then we have background color as hash EC. So a little bit of grayish white we can say. Then next thing we'll do is we'll style a logo. We'll write here logo, and inside this we'll write padding. Sorry, we'll write here padding left, and the padding left will be 2em. Next up, we'll write here logo text. So this is the next class. We'll write here font size as 1.5 m. Now the next class we have to use is the menu bar class. So we'll write here width as 45% and margin left as 8.5 m. Fine. I'll let you know what this m means in a moment. So first we'll do this styling and all. Next up we'll write here dot list. We'll access the list and we'll write here inside this display as flex and justify content as space between. Fine. Next up we have the list items. So we'll write here list items and we'll of course write here A as well. We'll write here color and the color will be, let's say, black. Next up what we'll do is we'll write here font family as sans serif, font size as 0.9 m. So you must have noticed earlier that the default font size was 20 pixels. So keep that in mind. I'll let you know the use of m in a moment. Next up we'll write here transition as 0.4 seconds and we are good to go with it. Next up we'll write here list items and we'll write here hover. Fine. Then we'll write here color as black. On hovering, the color of the list items will change to black. Now the next thing we'll do is we'll write here cart padding right will be 2m and position will be relative. Fine. We are done with the cart. Next up we'll write here cart number of items. Fine. We'll write here display as flex, cursor as pointer. We are styling two different classes here. We are styling the element with class as cart and the element with class as number of items. Fine. We'll write here justify contents to center, align items to center. We'll write here color is white, position will be absolute, and then we'll write here left as 18 pixels and right as we'll write here left as 18 pixels and top as -7 pixels. Next up we'll write background. So the background color will be hash F09 D51. So this will be the background color. We'll define the height and width as well. So height will be 20 pixels and the width will also be 20 pixels. Fine. The last thing we have to write here is the border radius. So keep one thing in mind, guys, while you are styling all these elements, do check the website after every styling event, because this will let you know what this particular event does or what this particular styling property does to that particular element. So do it when you are writing this code. Next up, we'll write here dot number of items space dot noi. So noi was the class we have already declared. We'll write here font size as 0.7 m. The next class we'll be styling is the shopping cart. So we'll style this icon as well. We'll write here font size as 1.5 m The font size will be equal to around 30 pixels. Then we'll write here cursor is pointer. Then we'll write here burger. We'll style the menu as well. We'll write here height. Height will be 28 pixels. Width will be 32 pixels. And then we'll write here display is none. Then we'll style the layers as well. We'll write here dot layer 1, dot layer 2 and dot layer 3. Now inside this we'll write background as black, height as 4 pixel, margin top is 4 pixel, width as 100%, and we'll write here border radius as 10 pixels. Fine. You have seen that hamburger menu, you have seen that icon, we were styling that till now. Now you might have noticed here that we have used M here in this CSS file. So I'm talking about this particular M, or we can say EM as well. Until now we were using rem or pixel to define the size of anything while studying. But today we are using M because M uses the font size. For example, if the font size is 30 for the parent class, in this case the font size is 20, the default font size is 20, and the padding is defined as 2M, then the padding will be 40 in that case. It uses the font size to determine the size of the property. That's why we are using M, and if you try it yourself you'll get to know better. So just try using M, and you can also use rem or pixel in this case, but for now we'll use M. So this might be a little bit new for you guys, but try it and you'll understand it much better. Now save the CSS file, move back to the browser, and you can see here that we have a navigation bar ready. Right, it's looking fine, although the icons are not visible. The book icon and the cart icon is not visible. So let's go back and see what's wrong in this CSS file. What we'll do is we'll move to HTML file and we'll see if something is wrong here or not. So nothing is wrong in this case. The error is because we are not connected to internet. So if this error continues, just try to connect your laptop or your PC to the internet and the icons thing will work fine. So you can see here we have our icons over here. We have the book icon, we have the cart icon, and what we have to do is we have to increase the size of this logo and text a little bit, right? So here you can see the comfort learning is a little bit small when compared to this particular website. So what we'll do is we'll move to a CSS file and we'll write here instead of 1.5 rem, we'll write here 2M. Fine, save it. And here you can see it's looking fine now. Actually it's equal. The difference is because of this scroll bar. We don't have this scroll bar in our website until now. So this is why it looks a little bit different to you guys. It's working totally fine other than that. So let's move on to the next part. And the next part of our website is the background image with the card present on it, right? So let's write the code for this section as well. What we'll do is we'll move to our HTML file and right here we'll write section class is equals to section 1. So we are using the section tag to define a particular section in the web page. Now we'll write here div class is equals to banner, and here we'll write inside h1 tag find your favorite courses or course here. Then inside this, what we'll do is we'll write here a href is equals to products. So the products file will be using JSON for this. So leave it for now. We'll write here shop now. So shop now is actually not a button. What we'll do is we'll use a link and we'll define it later. So let's save it and move to the browser. Open this website and you can see here it says find your favorite course here, and it says shop now. It's not inside the banner because we need to style this particular section to make it look like a website. So let's do the styling part as well, and then we'll talk about it. So we'll move to the CSS file now, and here what we'll do, we'll write here dot section 1 height. We'll use the calc function and we'll write here 100 VH minus 10 VH. So what we are doing is we are reducing the navigation bar's height. We are reducing 10 viewport height from 100 viewport height. It means that from the whole screen area, it will reduce 10 VH and give it to that particular image. Fine. So next up we'll write here width as 100%. We wanted to cover the whole home page, so that's why we are using width as 100%. Background, so we'll add the background image. We'll write here URL, and inside this we'll give the path of our image. We'll write here images back1.png, and we'll write here center cover. Fine. Let's do some more things. We'll write here top as 0, left is 0, z index as -1. Fine. Save it now, move to the browser and see if it's working. So here we are. We have our image over here, but this banner is not here till now. We'll style it. So you can see the images over here. And one more thing guys, we have 2-3 images over here inside a images folder. I'll let you see all of them. So here are the images, and this is the third one. Okay, so this is the third one. So I was not sure which one to use, but if you guys liked any of these images, do let us know in the comments below and we'll use that particular image. For now, we'll use my personal favorite image. We'll use back1.png, save it now. And this is the image we are going to use in this particular video. So let me know if you have any other preference or if you know any other image. We'll use that as well. Then we'll write here section 1 and we'll style the banner as well. For that we'll write here banner height is going to be 170 pixels, width is going to be 600 pixels, background is going to be a little bit grayish, so we'll write here RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.7. So this is the particular RGBA value. And next up we'll write here position as relative, top as 50%, left as 50% of the image. We want the banner to be present at the center of the image, right? So next up we'll write here transform translate, and inside it we'll write -50% to -50%. Next up we'll write here display as flex justify content is space around, and flex direction is column, text align is center, and then we have align items is center, font family is going to be sans serif again, and we'll define the z index as well. So the z index is going to be 8 in this case. Fine. Next up, we'll inside the h1 tag inside the banner. So we'll write here banner h1, and inside this we'll define the font size as 2em. Now we need to define the link for shop now. So for that we'll write here display is flex, justify content is center, padding is going to be 1em, space 2.5em. Next up we'll write here font size as 0.8em. So this is the font size for the shop now button, which looks like a button but it is actually a link. So what we'll do is we'll define the color of this button is white, and here the background color is going to be ash F90D51. Let's use this color, and we'll write here transition all at 0.3 second. Now save it once, move to the browser, and you can see it looks fine though. The only thing that is different here in this website is the color of this link, right? Or is the color of the shop now button. So we can change the color here. The color is sky blue. So let's try to do it. So here you can see the color seems a little bit different now. I don't know the actual value of this color. That's why I'm not sure about it. So what we'll do is we'll make it a little more bright. What's that? Save it now. And you can see it looks same now. So this was the color. We found that. Now we have to change the color of this button on hovering over it. So what we'll do is we'll write here dot banner a over. So the background we are going to change. We'll write here hash D476E1. Okay, 1E. The color codes are pretty hard to remember, so we are not using this particular color, so we'll change it to a little bit blue. Save it now, move to the browser, and you can see it looks nice, right? And the actual website, it's a little bit dull, but in our website it looks nice, right? It's a little bit dark than the original color. So that's fine, you can change the color according to you. So you have seen that this part is also done. It looks nice, right? Till now, the task we did was quite easy. The next thing we have to do is to add products to our website, which are the courses. We'll add those images to our website using JSON only. So let's do the HTML part first. Let's finish up the HTML part and then we'll move on to the JSON part. So we'll move to the HTML file again, and inside this, now what we'll do is we'll define the section for products. So we'll write here section class is equals to section 2 and id is equals to products. Fine, we'll use both the class and the id attribute for this particular section. We'll write here div class is equals to title, and here what we'll do is we'll write here h1, and inside this we'll write courses we offer. Here we'll again add another div, and inside this we'll write class is product. Close this div tag, save it, and there will be no difference on the web page. You can see here we have some text present at the bottom which says courses we offer, nothing else. Let's add those images now. What we'll do is we'll move to the JSON file and we'll add those images with some properties and pictures. So let's move on to the JSON file. So here's a JSON file, products.json. What we'll do is we'll create an object here. So we'll write here items, and then we'll use square brackets. Now, one thing to notice while working on any JSON file is that JSON doesn't let us use single inverted commas, or we have to use double inverted commas for JSON file. So if we write here items like this, it won't work. See, it says this is an error. So in JSON file, we have to use double inverted comma or double quotes, not single quotes. So now inside the items, what we'll do is we'll create the object for first image. So we'll write here sys, and then we'll write here id. So id will be 1. We have to use commas to separate the properties. So now we'll write here fields colon, and inside this we have to use title. So the title for first course will be Python Programming Master Course. Fine. Now next thing we'll do is we'll write here the price. The price will be, let's say, $123.99, and then we'll write here image. So inside this we'll define several properties for the particular image. We'll write fields, and we'll use colon, then again we'll use curly braces. We'll write here file colon, then again we'll use curly braces. We'll write here URL. So you can see it just says there's an error, so we have to remove this curly braces from here and we have to put it here. Now inside URL, what we'll do is we'll give the name of our file. So our file is stored in images folder, and the file name is, and the picture name is python.png. Fine. So it is working fine. Now what we have to do is we have to put a comma here to again insert one more image property. So we'll copy it from here, we'll paste it for 8 times. Then what we are going to do here now is we are going to change the ID, the title of the course. So the second course is C++ master course, and the price for this is, let's say, $110.99. We have to change the path as well. This image is stored as c++.png. For the third one, we'll write here ID as 3. The title is going to be web development for beginners. The price is, let's say, 99, because this is a course for beginners, and the file name is, instead of Python, we'll write here web1.png. We'll do the same for all the elements. So next up we'll use id as 4 and title as Java Programming Master Course. Fine. The price for this course is going to be $149.99 and the file name is java.png. Fine. Next up we'll write here id is 5. The title is going to be Digital Marketing Full Course. The price is going to be $109.99 and the name of our image is digital.png. Then we have id as 6 for another course. This course is going to be Advanced Web Development and the price is going to be comparatively high because this is an advanced course. So instead of Python we'll write here web2 because this is the name of our image. Then we have id as 7 and the file name is going to be data structures and algorithms full course. Prices you can decide by yourself. So instead of 123 we'll use 99.99 here and inside this we'll write data.png. This is our file name. Then we have the id as 8 for the last course. The course name is Data Science Full Course. The price is going to be 149 and image name is data2. Fine. So here you can see it says there is an error, remove this comma because we don't have any other image remaining. So we are done with the JSON file. All of this may sound a little bit tricky to you guys, but it is what it is and we have to keep certain things in mind for that. We can't see these products in the browser until we are done with the JavaScript part as well. So let's do the rest of the HTML part first and then we'll see how this works in JavaScript. Save it once, go to the browser and here you can see we are not able to see those products till now. So what we are going to do next is we are going to move to a HTML file and inside this we are going to do the remaining of our HTML part. So what we'll do is we'll write here div class is equal to cart sidebar. Now we are creating the structure for our cart sidebar. It means that when we use the hamburger menu or when we decrease the size of our web page or web browser, the cart will open at the side. So we are doing the coding for that. We'll write inside this div class is equals to cart and inside here we'll write span class is equals to close cart. Now inside this we'll add an icon. We'll write here I class is equals far times and we are done with it. Now next up what we are going to do is we are going to write the code inside of our cart. We are going to write here h2. It will say your cart and inside this we'll write div class is equals to cart content. Next up we'll write here div class is equals to total sum and we are going to use dollars, right? So we'll write here h1, we'll write here your total and we'll use the dollar sign here. After this we'll write span class is equals to total amount. Let's say we are going to change the class name, it will be total amount. We'll close this here, and inside this we'll write 0 because at the start there will be no element or no product present in the cart, so the total price will be 0 at the initial point. So that's why we have written 0 here. Now we are going to write here div class is equals to clear cart, and inside this we are going to create a button. So the button class will be btn clear cart btn. So this is going to be a class, and here what we'll do is we'll write here clear cart. Fine. We are going to do the same for proceed button as well. So we'll write here div class is equals to clear cart. We are going to use the same class for both the buttons because I'll let you know why we are doing this at the end of this project. Now we'll write here button class is equals to button clear cart button. Fine. We'll write here proceed. We are done with the cart function. Now what we are going to do is we are going to write some code for the menu bar, side menu bar. So we'll write here div class is equals to, let's say, menu sidebar. Inside this we'll write div class is equals to close menu, and we'll write here I class is equals to far times, and we'll close this I tag over here. Next up we'll write here after this class we'll write div class is equals to menu. Let's say this name is menu bar, and inside this we'll write here unordered list. Class will be menu list. We'll write here li class is equals to menu list items, and we'll write here a href is equals to hash. We'll write here home, and we are good to go. Fine. We'll do the same for categories, pricings, and about us. So we'll copy this statement, we'll paste it for 4 times. Here we'll write instead of home categories, pricings, and about us. Fine. So we are done with the whole HTML part now, and we are left with CSS and JavaScript only. Let's do that as well. Let's move on to the CSS part first and do the rest of the styling except for the products. We'll do it for products at the last. So let's move on to the CSS file first, and what we'll do is, so that it will not create any confusion, we'll write here menu bar, because we have to write the code here between this banner style property and this menu bar for the products section. So that's why we'll start writing the code from here, and later we'll add a code here in between. So we'll write here dot menu sidebar, display will be none, and then we'll write here dot cart sidebar, background is going to be hash ec, so a little bit grayish white we can say. We'll write here position as fixed, right as 0, and top as 0. So these are the properties we are defining inner CSS part. Then we'll write here width as 450 pixels and height as 100 viewport height. Fine. We'll define the z index as well. We'll write here z index as 10. Transition is all at 0.3 seconds and the transition will be linear. Fine. Next up we'll write here transform, and inside transform we'll write here translate x. Fine. So inside here we'll write 100%. It will go along with the x-axis, that's why we have written it over here. We'll write here overflow, scroll. We are done with it. Next up we'll write here dot cart sidebar, and we'll write here dot cart as well. So we'll define padding here. We'll write here padding as 0 in both the cases. Next up we have dot cart and close cart, right? So we'll write here for both of them, we'll write here dot cart space close cart. The font size is going to be 1.3 em. Padding is going to be 1 em, and cursor is going to be pointer. Fine. We'll write here dot far times. Inside this we'll write margin top as 0.5 em, and we'll write here cart h2 is text. Text align will be center for the heading of a cart, which is your cart. So we'll write here width as 100%. Margin bottom is going to be 1 em. And what else we have to do? We have to include the font size as well. So we'll write here font size is 1.1 em, slightly bigger than the default font size. Then we'll write here font family. Let's use only one. Fine. Let's use Verdana only. So we'll write here Verdana, and next up we'll write here dot cart product space dot product dash image space img. Now we are going to write here something. Now we are going to write the code for all the images present inside the cart. So that's why we are writing here width as 130 pixels. Of that particular image, the width is going to be 130 pixels and the height is going to be 90 pixels, let's say. Fine. We are done with this as well. Next up we'll write here dot cart product content. Fine. Now we'll write here display as flex. Flex direction is column. And we have justify content as space around. And align items at the center. We'll write here margin left as 1 em and height as 80 pixels. Fine. We are done with this as well. We'll write here dot plus dash minus. This is for increasing or decreasing the product number in our carts. Those arrows you must have remembered, which we have seen in the website. Let me show you again. So these are the arrows I'm talking about. Let me add a product. Now go to cart, and these are the arrows I'm talking about right now. So we are going to style those arrows as well. So we'll write here display as flex and transform. We are going to rotate them, so we are going to write here rotate at 90°. That will look cool. So we'll write here color is again hash F09D51. So this is the color code for a particular color. We'll write here font size is 1.5 em, and we'll write here cursor as pointer. Next up, we are going to do the styling for total sum. So we'll write here total sum, text align at the center, and margin is going to be 1 em, 0, 0.5 em, and 0 again. So it's for top, bottom, left and right, everyone. So we'll write here next clear cart, text align at the center, and we'll write here clear cart button. Now for the clear cart button, we'll write here background. So background color is going to be again that same one, orange we can say, or little bit of orange as well. I don't know the exact name for that color, but it doesn't matter, right? We can do anything. We can use any color. So the font color is going to be white. The border is going to be 1 pixel solid and white in color for the button, right? If we go back to our website, and you can see here, this is our button. So we are styling this particular button now. Let's go back here, and we'll write here padding is 0.5 em and 1.7 em. Fine. Cursor will be pointer, and of course transition is going to be at 0.3 seconds and linear. Fine. Next up, we'll write here clear cart dot button. On hovering over it, what we want is, we'll write here hover, and we'll define the property now. So we'll write here border. Okay, we'll write here border. Border is going to be 1 pixel thick, solid in nature, and of this color. So we'll write here D4761E. Fine. On hovering, the color will change, obviously. So we'll write here this. And now what we are going to do is, we are going to write here background as transparent and color as black. Fine. Done with this as well. Next up, we'll write here overlay. For overlay, the height is going to be 100 viewport height. The position is going to be fixed. The top is going to be 0. Similarly, the left will also be 0. we'll define the z index as well. We'll write as z index as 9 and width as 100%. The background color is going to be hash F3851F. Fine. So this is for overlay. We'll write here opacity as 0.3 and transition is all 0.3 seconds and linear. Fine. So what we are doing is we are writing the code for this. If you open our cart, you can see this particular area or this particular field is a little bit different from what it was. It is a little bit different in color and the opacity is also different. The opacity is 0.3 here. We can make it fully opaque as well. So for now we'll use 0.3 only. Next up, what we are going to do is we are going to write the property for none. We'll write here none, display as none. Fine. Now what we are going to do is we are going to write the CSS part for tablets and for mobile screens. So if you remember that if we reduce the size of this Chrome browser, the size of our website also reduces and it becomes like this. So to achieve this, we have to write particular CSS code for tablet and for phone. We have to define the max width and we have to do some more things in there. So what we'll do is we'll write here @media screen and max width is going to be 768 pixels. Fine. Now inside this we'll write dot logo. We'll change the logo as well. We'll write here padding left is 0 and after this we are going to write here dot cart, padding right is 2em. After cart we'll write here dot menu bar. So we are going to change all the properties here, almost all the properties which we'll require. So we'll write here display as none. The menu bar will disappear. We'll write here dot burger and inside this we'll write margin left. The burger sign will come into existence now. We'll write here 2em for the margin left. For display we'll write here block. Next up we have to do something for section 1 and for product section as well. So we'll write here dot section 1 and we'll write here dot banner h1. So we'll write here font size is 1.5em and we'll write here dot banner a. We are going to change the size of a shop now button. So we'll write here font size is 0.6em and padding is 1em and 2em. Fine. We are done with this as well. Next up we'll write here dot section 2 dot title and we'll write here h1. Inside this we'll write font size is 1.5em. So we haven't defined the section 2 and title styling part yet. We'll define it later, but we'll write the code for that as well. Now next up we'll write here menu sidebar. Display is going to be block. Position is going to be fixed. Left is going to be 0, top is going to be 0. So we'll write here left is going to be 0 and top will also be 0. Then we have width is 100%, height is 100 viewport height, and z index is 11. Background is going to be gray again, so we'll write here EC. Then we'll write here overflow is hidden, and transform is translate. So we'll write here -100%, and transition is again same. We'll write here 0.3s and linear. Fine. Next up, we'll write here menu as menu bar, and inside here we'll write display is flex, height is 80%, justify content at the center, and we are done. So next up, we'll write here menu list. We'll change the style of menu list as well. So we'll write here height is going to be 100%. Then we'll write here display as flex. We are rewriting the code again and again, but each time we are doing it for different class, we are doing it for different element. So keep these things in mind. And we'll write here flex direction as column, align items at the center, and justify content. Justify content as space around. Now it's time to do it for menu sidebar, and for close menu. Both will use the same styling properties. We'll write here position as absolute. Right is going to be 30 pixels. Font size is going to be 1.4 em. And after this we'll write dot menu list items, and we'll write here color is hash F09D51, the default color we are using till now. And lastly we'll write here dot menu dash list items space A on hover. We'll write here color is hash F57B09. Fine. So here's a mistake. We have placed colon here twice. We'll remove it. And now we are done with the tablet part. So we have to change the style of almost all the elements. We are done with the tablet part. Next up we have to write the same code for mobile part as well. And we'll write here @media screen. So we'll write here and max width is going to be 480 pixels. Now what we'll do is we'll write here asterisk font size is going to be 16 pixel. Here we have changed the font size for the whole entire HTML document. We have done it because we have used M in place of rem or pixels in this case, or in this video. So that's why we have changed the size here, because we want the screen to be smaller in size, right? If we go back here, you can see the font size is 16 by default, and if we do it, you can see the font size changes for each and every element, right? To achieve this, we have to use M in place of pixel or rem, we can say. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to write here dot section 1 dot banner, and we'll write here width as 280 pixels for both, and we'll write here height as 100 pixels. Fine. You can see here the height of this image is 100 pixel, or we can say the height of this banner is 100 pixel and the width is 280 pixels. So this is why we are changing the style of all these elements, because we want all these elements to fit inside a smaller screen. That's why we have to change the height, or we have to change the width as well. Now what we'll do is we'll write here section 1 dot banner. We'll write here h1. Inside this we'll write font size as 1.2 em. Display is going to be, no, we don't have to use display here, I guess. Let's leave it. So we are done with this. Next up we'll write the code for burger. We'll write here burger, margin left is going to be 1 em. For mobile the display is going to be block, and the width is going to be 30 pixel. Fine. We'll do the same for cart sidebar. We'll write here width as 100% of the screen. The cart will take whole screen, and we'll write here at the last for product. So for product we'll write here margin is 0, display is flex, justify content at the center, align items at the center, and flex direction is going to be column. So we have covered almost every HTML element in the CSS file. We are done with the styling for everything except products. We'll style them later. Let's move on to the JavaScript part now and see how we can fetch those products. So we cannot witness every style change right now, but we'll witness them while covering the JavaScript part. So let's move on to the JavaScript part first, and we'll start with the cart section and the hamburger menu thing. So save it, and if you want to witness the changes we made, you can go here and you can see the cart is not opening because we need to write the JavaScript part for that, and everything else remains the same. If we reduce the size of our browser, you can see we have a menu over here. We can increase the size, and we have our image adjusting itself accordingly. So we can use it, and it's quite responsive as well. Let's move on to the JavaScript part now. We'll open the JavaScript file, and first of all we'll access all the HTML elements with the query selector method. So we have several HTML elements, right? Here you can see we have several elements present in our HTML file. We are going to access few of these elements. So what we are going to do is we are going to write here const cart is equals to document dot query selector. We are going to write here nav space dot cart. Then we are going to do the same for a long time. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy paste this piece of code again and again for several times. We are going to change the name of variables. So we'll write here cart sidebar, and instead of this we'll write here dot cart sidebar. And the next one we'll write here dot close cart, and here the variable name will change to close cart. Fine. Next up we'll take another variable as burger, and here we'll change the query from nav.cart to burger. Fine. Next up we have menu sidebar. So we'll write here menu sidebar, and here what we'll do is we'll write here dot menu sidebar. Fine. Next up we have close menu, and here we'll write close menu again. After close menu we have cart items total. So we'll write here cart items total, and we'll use noi. Then we have total amount as well. So we'll write here total amount, and here we'll write cart price total. We have to access a lot of elements. So then we'll write here cart UI, and for this we'll access cart sidebar and cart. So we'll write here dot cart sidebar space cart. Fine. Then we have the total sum. So we'll write here total sum. We'll put a dot over here, and here we'll write total div. Then we have the clear button. So we'll write here clear button, and here we'll write clear cart button. Then finally we have a variable name cart content to access everything present in the cart. So we'll write here dot cart content. Here we'll write cart content. So these are our 12 variables, and we have accessed almost every element present in a HTML file, which we are going to need further. So I hope you guys understood this. We have used the query selector method to access all the HTML elements here in the JavaScript part. Now next up we'll take two empty arrays. So we'll write here let cart is equals to an array, and we'll write here let buttons dom, and it's again going to be an array. Fine. Now we'll first create some events to open and close the cart. For that we'll write here cart dot add event listener. We'll add a click event here, and we'll write here function. Now inside this we'll write cart sidebar dot style dot transform is equals to translate 0%. Fine. So this is, we are changing the style of cart sidebar. Next up we'll write here const body overlay. We'll take a variable of named const body overlay. We'll write here document dot create element, and we'll write here div inside this. Fine. Next up what we'll do is we'll write here body overlay dot class list dot add, and we'll write here overlay. Fine. We'll use the set timeout method. So we'll write here set timeout. Okay, we have written here SST. So we'll write here set timeout. Then we'll create an anonymous function, and inside here what we'll do is we'll write document dot query selector, and inside here we'll write body. Then we'll write here append, and we'll append body overlay here. So we'll write here body overlay. Fine. And the time will pass here is going to be 300 milliseconds. We are done with this function. We'll add another event. So what we'll do is we'll write here close cart dot add event listener. Now we are closing the cart. So we'll write here click, then we'll create a function and we'll write here cart sidebar dot style dot transform, and again we'll translate it to 100%. Previously we did for 0% and now we'll translate it to 100% again. So we'll write here translate and we'll pass 100% inside the brackets here. Next up, we'll again use the body overlay variable. So we'll copy this from here and we'll paste it here. We'll of course change the create element value. So instead of create element, we'll write here document dot query selector and we'll write here dot overlay. Fine. Next up, we'll write here document dot query selector and we'll write here body dot remove child. We'll remove body overlay from here. So we'll write here body overlay. Fine. We are good to go. Save it now and go to the browser. So here you can see on clicking the cart, our cart is working totally fine now. We are in this particular program. So we are in a website which we are creating right now. This is the original website. This is the final product. So leave it and we are going to work on our website only. So here you can see our cart is working totally fine. Now we can open or close our cart and we have two options over here. One is for clearing the entire cart and the other one is for proceeding further. Next up, we'll add some more events for the hamburger menu. Now how to open or close that menu and all. So for that, we'll move to a JavaScript file again and we'll write here burger dot add event listener and we'll add a click event. We'll write here click, we'll write here function and then we'll write here menu sidebar dot style dot transform, and what we are going to do is we are going to translate, again we are going to translate it to 0%. Now the same thing we have to do for this as well. We'll write here burger dot add event listener. Inside here we'll write click and then we'll write a function which will again do the same task. It will translate to -100%. We'll write here menu sidebar dot style dot transform and we are again going to translate it to -100% now. Fine. Save it and go to the browser. Now, if we decrease the size of a web page or if we decrease the size of a browser, you can see, okay, let me decrease it first. So you can see the hamburger menu over here and on clicking, it's not working right now. So let's inspect those elements once and there's no error, but let me check if there's any mistake. Okay, so we have to write here close menu. And now I guess it will work fine. We'll save it again and we'll move to the browser, reduce the size, click on this hamburger menu and you can see it's working totally fine now. Right. So this part is also done. Now what we have to do next is we have to create a class to get those products from the JSON file. So keep your eyes open now guys. We'll see how it actually works. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a class named product. So this is our class. We'll write here async. I hope you are already aware of async and await. So we'll write here get product, and this is a function. We'll write here const response is equals to await, and while awaiting it will fetch products.json. Fine. Then we'll create a variable. We'll write here const data is equals to await response.json. Fine. Next up we'll write products is equals to data.items, and we'll write products is equals to products dot map function we are going to use. So we'll write here again item, then we'll use arrow function. We'll write the body of this function here. We'll write here const. Inside this we'll pass title and price of the product, and we'll write here item dot fields. Fine. Similarly, we'll do the same for ID as well. Inside curly braces we'll write ID, and we'll write here item dot sys. Then we'll write here const image. Now we are fetching the image, so we'll write here item dot fields dot image dot fields. We are actually giving the path, right? If you see here in the JSON file, you can see inside items we have sys fields, then inside fields we have title, price, image, and then inside image we have fields, file, and URL. So we'll access each of them. Now we'll write here after fields dot file dot URL, and lastly we'll write here return title, price, ID, and image. Fine. Finally we'll write here after this return products. Cool. Now what we are doing here is we are getting the details of all the products and storing them inside separate objects. So we have all the objects present over here. All those images were actually stored inside the local storage, and now we can fetch them from that particular storage. Now we'll create another class for the user interface of the product. So if you save it now and go to the browser, you will see no difference over here because it's not working as of now. If you go to inspect elements and console, you can see it says length mismatch. It's because of the live server, so there's no error over here. Now we'll create another class for the user interface of the products. We'll add those products to the cart and we can delete them from the cart. We'll do everything inside one single class. So let's do it. What we are going to do is we are going to write here class. Let's say the class name is UI, and we'll write here display products, and we'll write here products. Then we'll write here inside this let result be a variable, and we'll leave it empty over here. Next line we'll use the for each loop. So we'll write here products dot for each, and inside this we'll create an arrow function. So we'll write here const product div let's say is a variable, and then we'll write here document dot create element. Again, we are going to create an element, so we'll write here div, and after this what we are going to do is we are going to write here product div dot inner HTML is equals to, now the main part starts. So inside these we'll write div class is equals to product card, and then we'll write img will add the image. So here we'll write img src is equals to dollar product dot image. We are going to fetch it, and instead of alt, in place of alt, we'll write alt as product. In the next line we'll use the span tag again. We'll write here span class is equals to add to cart, and we'll then write here data id is equals to product dot id. We'll close this tag, we'll close this span tag, we can say. In the next line we'll use the I tag. We'll write here I class is equals to far cart plus far1x. Now what we are doing is we are going to show the number of items present in a cart over the cart icon. That's why we are doing all this. So here what we'll do is we'll write style is equals to margin dash right. Margin right is going to be 0.1 em, and font size is going to be 1 em. Fine. Close this as well, close the I tag as well, and in the next line right here add to cart. So the span tag is finally, we are going to close it. Now this is a single tag. I've written it in such a way because I don't want it to create any sort of confusion for you guys. So the span tag starts from here and goes till here. Now we are remaining with some more part of it. So in the next line what we are going to do is we are going to write here div class is equals product name, and here we'll write dollar product dot title, and we are going to close this div tag. In the next line we are going to write div again, class is going to be product pricing, and inside here we'll write product dot price, and we are going to close this div tag here. Close the first div tag as well, and we are good to go. In the next line what we are going to do is we are going to write here const p is equals to document dot query selector, and inside this we'll write dot product. We are going to access the element with product as class, or we are going to access the product query. Then we'll write here p dot append equal to product div. What we are doing is any item we are adding to cart is we are going to append that item inside the cart. So that's what we are doing till now. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to write here a function get buttons, basically a constructor we can say. We'll write here const buttons. We'll write here const buttons is equal to document dot query selector. We have to write here query selector all, and then we are going to write here inside this dot add to cart. Fine. We have been through all these query selector methods previously, so I don't think that this is going to create any sort of problem for you guys. So let's move ahead and we'll write here array dot from, we'll write here buttons. Then we'll write here buttons dom is equals to buttons. We are going to pass the value of buttons to buttons dom. Then we'll write here buttons dot for each, and inside here we'll write button, and we are going to create an arrow function over here. Here what we'll do is we'll write here let id is equals to button dot dataset dot id. In the next line we'll write let in cart is equals to cart dot find, and we are going to pass item to this function. So we are going to write inside here item, and again an arrow function. We'll write here item dot id triple is equals to id. Fine. We are going to check the condition here. If we'll write here if in cart then we'll write here btn dot inner html is equals to in cart. So what we are doing is if we have added the product to cart already, then the button will change. As we have seen earlier that on adding the product once to the cart, the button will change to in cart from add to cart. So this is what we are doing here. Next up we'll write here button dot disabled is equals to true. We are going to disable that button once the product is added to cart. Fine. Next up we'll write here button dot add event listener, and we are going to create an event. We'll write here click, and we'll write e here, then we'll use the arrow function, and we'll write it here e dot current target dot inner html is equals to in cart. Then we'll write here e dot current target dot inner html. Okay, we'll write here e dot current target dot style dot color is equals to white. E dot current target dot style dot pointer events equals to none, and we are done with it. Next up we are going to store the products in the cart. So for that what we are going to do is we are going to write here let cart item is equals to, so we are going to use a little bit of JSON now. We'll write here dot storage dot get storage products. We'll write here ID comma amount, and the amount is going to be 1. We'll write here cart dot push. We are going to push the cart item to the cart. So we'll write here cart item. And then we'll write here storage. We are going to store it inside the cart. So we'll write here storage dot save cart, and we'll pass cart over here. Fine. Now we have to calculate the total and we have to set the total items as well. So for that we'll write here this dot set cart values. We'll write here cart, and to display those cart item we have to write here this dot add cart item, and we have to add that cart item. So we'll write here this dot add cart items item, and we'll pass cart item over here. Fine. We are done with the working of cart as well. Next up, what we are going to do is we are going to change the total value of cart. We are going to change the value of cart on increasing or decreasing the cart products. So first of all, we have to write here set cart values, and we have to pass cart over here. We have to write here, let's say we have a variable temp total. So this is going to be a temporary variable. We'll write here temp total is equals to 0, and we'll take another variable. For that we'll write here item total. So item total is also going to be 0. Now we'll map this cart. So for that we'll write here cart dot map. We'll write here item. We'll use arrow function. So for that we'll write here temp total plus is equals to item dot price into item dot amount. So this is how we are going to get the total amount, and then we'll write here item. Basically we are swapping all of that. So we'll write here item total is equal to item dot amount. We have to add these two values. So we'll write here item total plus is equals to item dot amount. Fine. Now we'll write here parse float, and we are going to change these values. Just like parseInt, we have parse float as well. So inside parse float we'll write temp total dot to fixed, and we are going to fix it until 2 decimal units. Fine. Next up we'll write here cart items total dot inner HTML is equals to items total, and we'll write here cart price total dot inner HTML is equals to parse float. We'll write here temp total dot to fixed, and we'll fix it up to 2 decimal units. Fine. Next up we'll write here add cart item. Now we'll write here cart item, and inside this we'll write let cart item UI is equals to document dot create element. We'll write here div. We'll write here cart item UI dot inner HTML is equals to, we are again going to do the same task. So we are going to use the backtick for that. So here we'll write div class is equals to cart product, and we'll write here div class is equals to product image. We'll write here img src is equals to, we are going to fetch the image again, so we'll write here dollar, and inside this we'll write cart item dot image, and alt will be product in this case as well. Next up, we are going to close this div tag, and we are going to start another div tag here. So we'll write here div class is equals to cart product item, sorry, cart product content we can say, and then we'll write here in the next line div class is equals to cart product name. We'll write here inside h3 tag. So inside h3 tag we'll write dollar cart item dot title, and we are going to close this h1 tag over here, h3 tag, sorry, h3 tag over here. Then we'll close this div tag as well. We are again going to create another div tag. This time we are going to write the class as cart product price. We are going to fetch the price now. We'll write here again h3. So our price is in dollars, so we'll use dollars for now. We can use rupees here as well. So we can write here cart item dot price. The price is going to be in dollars. Then we'll close this tag, and we are also going to close the div tag here. Fine. In the next line, we are going to create the product remove cart. So we are going to create a div tag for that, and the class is going to be cart product remove. Data ID is going to be cart ID. So we'll write here cart item dot ID, and then we'll write here href is equals to hash, and style is going to be, color is going to be red, and then we'll write here remove. I'm going to close the anchor tag and then the div tag. Fine. So we are done with this till now. Then we are going to again close this particular div tag we used previously. Now what we are going to do is we are going to change the number of products. So we are going to use here class is equals to plus minus, and here we'll write inside the I tag class is equals to far angle left add amount. Fine. This is going to be the class, and the data ID is going to be cart item ID. So we are going to write here data ID is equals to dollar, and inside this we'll write cart item ID dot ID, and then we are going to close this tag, and we are going to close the I tag here. Fine. Next up, we are going to use the span tag again. We are going to write here span class is equals to number of items, and we'll close this tag here. We'll write dollar cart item dot amount. We are going to close the span tag here, so we'll write here slash span. In the next line, we are again going to use data ID, and here what we'll do is we'll write here dollar, and we'll write here cart item dot ID. We are going to close the I tag again, and in the next line we are going to close the div tag and one more div tag. Fine. Now we are done with it. Let me close this first, and next up we'll append this cart content to the cart item UI. So we'll write here cart content dot append, and inside this we'll pass cart item UI. Fine. So here you can see we are going to close this. So this is the closed one, and inside here we'll write setup app, again a constructor. We are going to write here cart is equals to storage dot get cart. We'll write this dot set cart values cart here, and then we'll write cart dot map. Inside this we'll write item, and inside the body we'll write this dot add cart item. Fine. I hope you guys are getting this. Next up we'll write the cart logic here. We'll write here cart logic, and we'll write here clear button dot add event listener. We are going to create an event again. We'll write here click, comma, a function. Inside this we'll write this dot clear cart. We are going to call this function over here. Now we have to write the logic for remove button. So we'll do it here. We'll write here cart content dot add event listener, click, comma, event, and we'll write here inside this if event dot target dot class list dot contains cart product remove. Then we'll again create a variable. Let's say the variable is let. Okay, we have made a mistake over here. We have to close this bracket here, and then we have to write here let id is equals to event dot target dot dataset dot id. In the next line we'll write this dot remove item, and we'll pass id here. Fine. In the next line we'll write here let div is equals to event dot target dot parent element, and we are going to use parent element for quite some time now. So we are going to write here dot parent element again for 4 times. So we'll write here parent element dot parent element. So we have written it 4 times here. In the next line we'll write here div dot remove child, and we'll write here event dot target dot, we'll copy it from here and we'll paste it here. Fine. Now in the next line we are going to close this bracket, and we are going to start writing here else if event dot target dot class list dot contains add amount. Then what we are going to do is we are going to use the id variable again. We are going to write here let id is equal to event dot target dot dataset dot id, let item is equals to cart dot find. We'll pass item here and we'll use the arrow function. So we'll write here item dot id triple equals to id. Fine. Then we'll write here item dot amount plus plus. So we are going to increase the amount of items. Then what we are going to do is we are going to write here storage dot save cart, and we are going to pass cart here. We'll write here this dot set cart values cart. We'll write here event dot target dot next element sibling dot inner HTML. Is equals to item dot amount. Fine. Now we are going to use another else if here. So we'll write here else if event dot target dot class list dot contains reduce amount. So we are going to change the number of products in our cart. So for that, what we'll do is we'll write here let id is equals to event dot dataset event dot target dot dataset dot id. Fine. And item will be let item is equals to cart dot find item item dot id triple equals to id. If we are again going to use an if statement, so we'll write here item dot amount is greater than 1. If the number of items is greater than 1, then item dot amount minus minus and store it inside the cart. So we are going to write here storage dot save cart and we'll pass cart here. Then we'll write here this dot set cart values and we'll again pass cart here. In the next line we'll write here event dot target dot previous element sibling dot inner HTML is equals to item dot amount and finally we'll write here else, and inside the else what we'll do is we'll write here this dot remove item and we'll pass the id here. We'll write here let div is equals to event dot target. We are basically targeting the events. We are creating conditions for certain different events, like when the user increases the number of products and the user decreases the number of products, and if the user removes the product from the cart. So we are writing the code for that. So we'll write here event dot target dot parent element and we'll write here parent element again for 4 times. Fine. We'll write here div dot remove child and inside this we'll write event dot target dot parent element for 4 times again. It will check each parent element. So here we are done with it. Next up, we have to create 2 functions for add amount and for reduce amount. So what we are going to do is we are going to write here add amount, and we'll write here const add button is equals to document dot query selector all. Inside this we'll pass dot add amount. Fine. We'll write here add button dot for each, and we'll write here inside this button dot add event listener, and we'll add an event over here. We'll write here click comma event, we'll pass event here, and then we'll write here like this, let id is equals to event dot current target dot dataset dot id. Fine. We'll write here cart dot map, and we'll pass item over here. We'll write here again arrow function, and inside this what we are going to do is we are going to write here item dot amount plus plus storage dot save cart. We are going to pass cart here. We'll write here this dot set cart values. We are again going to set the cart values, and we'll again use amount UI, a new variable, and we'll write here event dot current target dot parent element dot children. Fine. So we are targeting the parent element along with the children. So we'll write here amount UI dot inner HTML is equals to item dot amount. So we have forgot to mention here if item dot id is equals to id, then do it. Fine. Now we are going to do the same thing for reduce amount as well. So we'll write here reduce amount, and inside this we'll write const reduce button is equals to document dot query selector all, and we are going to pass here dot reduce amount. Fine. We'll write here reduce button dot for each, and then we'll pass button over here, and we'll use the arrow function again. Finally we'll write here button dot add event listener, click event, let id is equals to event dot current target dot dataset dot id. Fine. We'll write here cart dot map, we'll map it to cart, and we'll write here item then again we'll write here if item dot id triple equals to id. Then we'll write here item amount minus minus, so we'll write here item dot amount minus minus, and if item dot amount is greater than 0, then what it will do, it will store it inside the local storage. So we'll write here storage dot save cart, and we'll write here cart. Then we'll write this dot set cart values cart const amount UI is equals to event dot current target dot parent element dot children amount UI dot inner HTML is equals to item dot amount. Fine. Again we'll write here else what will happen, we'll write here event dot current target dot parent element. So here instead of parent element we'll write remove child, and we'll write here event dot current target dot parent element dot parent element. Fine. In the next line we'll write this dot remove item, and we'll pass id here. We are done with this part as well. Next up we have to clear the cart, so for that we'll write here clear cart. We'll again do something for that. We'll write here let cart item is equals cart dot map. Inside this we'll write item implies item dot id cart item dot, we'll again use the for each loop here. We'll write here this, then we'll provide id here, and we'll write here this dot remove item. We'll pass the id over here. Then we'll write here const cart product. We'll create a new variable here. We'll write here document dot query selector all, and we'll write here dot cart product. We'll write here cart product dot for each item. What we are going to do is we are going to create an arrow function here, and we are going to write here if item is true, if item is there, then item dot parent element dot remove child will remove the item. Now we have to remove the item, so for that we'll write here remove item, and we'll pass id to that item. We'll write here cart, we'll update the value of cart as cart dot filter. We'll write here item, and then we'll write here item dot id not equals to id this dot set cart values, and we'll update the cart then. Similarly we'll again write here storage dot save cart, and we'll pass cart here. Then we'll write here let button is equals to this dot get single button, we'll write here id, and we'll change the button style. We'll write here button dot style dot pointer events is equals to unset. Then we'll write here button dot inner HTML is equals to backtick. I class will be far cart plus. We are going to close the I tag here and we'll write here add to cart. Fine. Next up, we'll write here get single button. We'll pass id over here and we'll write the code for here. We'll write here let btn, then we'll write here buttons dom dot for each. For each button, what it will do is we'll check if button dot dataset dot id is equals to id, then btn equals to button. Fine. Here we'll return button. Now save it. Save this program. Go to browser. And this is our website. Go to browser. And you can see nothing is visible till now. We have to write a little more code to make everything visible here. Now we have to store the data in local storage so that on refreshing the web page, we don't lose the data. So what we'll do is we'll go back to a JavaScript file and we'll write here class storage equals to static save products. We'll pass products here. Then we'll open curly braces and we'll write here local storage dot set item, and inside this we'll write products dot comma json dot stringify products. Fine, we are parsing the products from our JSON file now. Next up, we'll write here static get storage products. We'll pass the ID here and we'll write here let products is equals to JSON dot parse local storage dot get item, and we'll pass products here. Fine. In the next line we'll write return products dot find. We'll write here item item dot id is equals to id. Fine. Next up, we'll again write here static save cart. Now we are saving the products in our cart, so we'll write here local storage dot set item. Inside here we'll pass cart, and here we'll write JSON dot stringify, and we'll pass cart over here. Next up, we'll write here static get cart. We are getting the items from the cart. We'll write here return local storage dot get item cart. Here we'll write question mark. We'll parse the JSON file here. We'll write here JSON dot parse local storage dot get item from the cart. Fine. Here we have to put a square bracket, a pair of square brackets. And lastly, we have to write a few lines of code. So we'll write here document dot add event listener, and we'll write here DOM content loaded. So we are adding one more event to our JavaScript file, which is the DOM content loaded. So we have to write here DOM content loaded, and here we have to write inside the function const products is equals to new product, and we'll write here const UI is equals to new UI. Now we have to show cart from local storage, so we'll write here UI dot setup app, and we'll write here products dot get product dot then, and inside this we'll write products equal implies this UI dot display products. We'll write here products storage dot save products, and we'll pass products here as well. Fine. We'll write here dot then. We are using promises, so here we'll write UI dot get buttons and UI dot cart logic. Fine. Now the JavaScript part is done. We have used JSON here to make our web page more responsive towards several aspects. Apart from that, we have used JSON for adding products to our website as well. Now we are left with one more task only. Let's do it, and then we'll see the final outcome of this extended code. So we'll move to the CSS file and we'll start starting the products part. Let's try if it's working or not. Let's save this piece of code and go to browser, click on shop now, and it's not working, we can see. Okay, it says it's failed to load the resource. Refresh it, and you can see now it's working totally fine. We have all our product images over here. We have all of our products. We can add them to cart, and we can use the cart as well. So the last thing we have to do is to use products now. Now we have to style those products. So for that, we'll move to our CSS file. So here's our CSS file, and inside this we have to write here. So we have put a comment over there when we were not here. So we have to style the products over here. So for that, we'll write here dot section2 dot title, and text align at the center, Then we'll write here section 2 dot title h1. The font size is going to be 1.8 em. The margin is going to be 1.3 em. Then we have to write the code for products here, so we'll write here dot product, and inside this we'll write margin as 0.5 em. We have to write here margin, we'll write here 0.5 em, and auto max width is going to be 1300 pixels. Display is going to be grid column is going to be, so here it is going to be grid column gap, and it is going to be 2 em. Then we'll write here grid row gap, and grid row gap is going to be 2 em as well. Then we'll write here grid template columns, and we'll write here repeat. We are going to create a grid for our products, right? So we'll write here auto fit comma min max. We'll write here 350 pixels and 1 fra. Fine. Next up, we'll write here dot product card, and now we are going to write here text align as center, position as relative, max width of the grid is going to be 350 pixels, and the overflow is going to be hidden. Next up, we'll write here product card image. We'll write here height as 300 pixels, width as 300 pixels, and transition as 0.3 seconds linear. Fine. Similarly, we'll do the same for product name and product pricing. So we'll write here product name comma product pricing. Margin for them is going to be 0.3 em. We'll write here dot product pricing, and the color of the product pricing is going to be the one we have been using till now. So we'll write here F09D51. Then we have to write the code for add to cart button. So we'll write here add to cart. We'll write here align items to the center, justify the content to the center, and color is going to be white. Padding is going to be 0.2 em and 1 em. Fine. Height is going to be 30 pixels. Background is going to be the same, F9D51. Position is going to be absolute. Right is going to be 0. Transform is going to be translate along the x-axis to 100%. Bottom is going to be 80 pixels. You have to put a comma here. Bottom is going to be 80 pixels. Transition is going to be 0.3 seconds again, and linear. Cursor is going to be pointer. Fine. Then we have to write few more lines. So we'll write here product card. We'll write here hover. And we'll add to cart here. So we'll write here transform translate x 0%. We'll write here product card. On hovering over the image, so we'll write here hover img. Opacity will change to 0.7. Let's try it, and finally we'll write here dot add to cart. Hover. And here we'll write color as black. Fine, we are done with it. We have styled the products as well. We are now done with the website. Save it, move on to the browser, and let's face the truth now. So you can see it's not working as of now. Refresh the web page and the products looks really big now. What we have to do is we have to move over here and we have to see what's wrong over here. This was a mistake and it's done. Let me see what's wrong. Something is not right here. Everything seems fine, but we have to search for the error. So if we see here, max width is fine, the max width for product is fine. Let's try to do this thing. We'll write here this, save it now, and I know that this is the error we did. So such small errors sometimes cost us way more. Go to the browser and you can see our website is fine now. Try adding the products to the cart. You can see the products are in the cart. We can increase the number of products. The total is increasing with that. And it's working totally fine. Click on the clear cart button and it's not working. Click on the proceed button and it clears the cart. A simple solution for this, go to the HTML file, write clear cart over here and proceed over here. Save it, move to the browser, try adding products to the cart, go to the cart, increase the numbers, everything is fine, proceed, it's not working, clear cart, and the cart is clear. Now that we have done so many things on the website, here's a task for you guys. We have left the proceed button inside the cart with no functionality. We did it with purpose. I want you guys to do something creative with it. You can take the user further to the login or sign up page, and you can use regular expressions to validate the form. Upon successful validation, you can further take the user to the payment page. I want you guys to do that part and let us know in the comments below if you are facing any problems or if you have any doubts regarding that. So with this, we have come to the end of this video on JavaScript. I hope the session was informative and interesting. If you have any queries regarding any of the topics covered in this video, or if you have any doubt, related to this particular programming language, then please feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to resolve all your queries at the earliest. Until next time, thank you, stay safe, and keep learning with Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.